Is my hair okay? What? Okay. Meet the brand new 1250 RT. This replaces the acclaimed R1200 RT, which, as the GS, also had a 14-year production run. Now, the RT, Reisetourer, as the Germans call it, has always been the go-to bike for comfortable, long-term cross-continental travel on a motorbike. But has it changed? Get your motorbike news in a pleasant way. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the next episode. This world-renowned police bike is also a favorite with all touring enthusiasts. If off-road is a definite no-no for you and you want to travel the world on all roads that are paved, what better bike could you possibly have? The RT was designed from the ground up to provide you with all that you could possibly need for long journeys, and it has gone through at least 4 design iterations in its 41-year long production cycle. So it really should have all this touring thing figured out. Let's take the RT out on a ride and put it through all its paces, talk details and see what has changed from the 1200 model. Firstly, since it's a touring bike, let's see what riding on the twisties, mountain roads and all other fun roads feels like. This is where the new engine really comes into its own. We've done an in-depth review of the 1250 GS, which you can watch by clicking above, where we outline the changes, explain the shift cam technology, but here is a quick rundown of what has changed. 84 more cubic centimeters, 11 more horses, 13 more foot-pounds of torque, variable timing technology, tooth cam chain for more silent operation, optimized oil supply, piston-based cooling, twin-jet injection valve, knock sensor for optimized travel. Now those are a lot of words, but don't worry yourself too much about them because they can all succumb to your will and power by using this accelerator over here. In conclusion, however, the only thing that you need to remember about the new engine is that it's reborn. If I had to sum it up in one sentence, it would be all the power, all the time. You get access to all that beautiful power anywhere in the RPM range. It has made the bike a lot more agile and it actually feels a lot younger. By far, the biggest and best change from the 1200 model. Suspension remains unchanged on the 1250 using BMW's proven telelever and paralever system. Optional electronic suspension with constantly adjusting damping and rear self-leveling preload is sharper and more accurate than ever in its dynamic riding mode. Speaking of riding modes, the RT comes with 3 different ones that are extremely easy to change, literally the push of a button. You get rain, road and dynamic, which can prove very useful to your riding style. Brakes. Twisties would not be fun with bad brakes. Thankfully, the RT has one of the best braking systems available out there. Front brakes are no longer made by Brembo but branded BMW and made by Hayes in the US, and in my opinion they feel slightly more responsive than the Brembos, but there is no difference in day-to-day riding. An optional up and down quick shifter works wonderfully on the twisties, allowing you to keep both hands on the handlebar and concentrate on those lovely corners instead. And what would a quiet, windy mountain road be without you blasting Miley Cyrus from the RT's audio system? The speakers are loud and clear even at high speeds, but one thing I could not do is pair my phone with the bike. There is a dedicated USB and auxiliary plug coming out from one of the storage compartments, but nothing happened when plugging in my phone into the USB port. For highway riding, the most important factor in my opinion is wind protection. You're doing quite high speeds, and if you need to be fighting Mother Nature as well, it's not going to be a very enjoyable ride. Thankfully, the RT has this figured out with its wide fairings and high windshield. The windshield is electrically operated, and although this is not a must on a bike, it definitely adds to the easiness of living with the RT. I'm sitting in my own bubble of calm over here, and all controls are easy to reach and very logically laid out. BMW's multifunction wheel controls both the nav unit and other instruments, including the audio system, which makes my life a lot easier. There is also a favorites button on the instrument cluster that you can remap to any function that you quickly want to reach without fumbling through the menu structures. The heated grips and seat are a godsend in cold weather riding, and the RTs are very efficient with their 5 stages of heating power. There is one thing that I don't like about the wind protection, and that is the sucked in syndrome. At high speed, I feel like the wind is going over the windshield, over my head, and pushing me from the back into the front of the bike. This is something that I think a top case will easily fix. City riding is where you would think the RT could not possibly shine, but you would only be partially correct. Because of its quite large width, if you ride the RT in town, you can go ahead and consider yourself a car. Because you will not be able to do any lane splitting, and as any rider knows, being stationary in traffic on a hot summer's day is really not fun. You would also think that the RT would carry its 279 kilograms quite poorly, but that is just not true. Since it's a boxer engine, it carries its weight quite low, so as long as you're moving, even slowly but moving, you will not feel its weight. The low and large mirrors also help a lot in town, even if a quarter of them are taken up by the handlebars. Hill start control is also one of those features that is probably only useful on the RT during city riding, since you're not going to be taking it off-road. Basically, once stationary and on an incline, such as in traffic, you will no longer need to keep the brake pedal or handle pressed. The bike will automatically engage the brake for you and then automatically disengage it when you pull off. Useful. Central locking for all cases and other storage nooks. The RT comes with its 2 side panniers, and there are also 2 storage boxes in the front of the bike. These are very helpful for keeping essentials for your trip at arm's reach. And if you stop to get some coffee, for example, you just press one button and they all lock automatically. No need to lock them individually with your key. Keyless ride is another feature that is great to have for city riding, since the key can stay safely tucked in your pocket and you have one less worry. Plus, it's also very cool. Feels like magic every time I start the bike.
Now, every time I review a bike, I also try to do a little section at night so I can see what it's like on the bike during the night. With the RT now, I've got only the halogen headlight on. This is also adjustable, so you can turn it up a little bit or down. This bike also comes with auxiliary lights, and those are the LED auxiliary headlights, also adjustable up and down. Let's see what those look like. Turning them on now. Everything's a lot more white, and everything to the left and to the right of the bike you can see a lot more clearly. So the lighting solution is very good. Another thing that I try to look at is the dash cluster. Is it bothering me at night? Are the lights too bright? And this one is definitely not. It's just, it blends in. I don't even see it. The LCD upgrade that they did to it is very welcome. Everything that's on the LCD is very easily readable.
The 1250 RT comes in 3 different color options, with an additional 2 if you opt in for BMW's option 719 line of factory accessories, which include different wheels, covers, seat options and other goodies. MSRP for the base model of the RT is at about $18,500, but after you kit it out with all those lovely options, you get into the base price territory of BMW's K1600, which is a completely different beast.
So, in conclusion, who is this bike for? Do you enjoy being comfortable on a bike? Do you enjoy long motorcycle travels? Do you do this when you see kids running around with their dirt bikes? Are you scared of BMW's K1600, both because of its higher price and much bigger weight? Well then look no further, this is the bike for you. The R1250 RT is definitely a bike I can recommend if you tick all those boxes above. But don't take my word for it. BMW is very generous when you ask to test ride their bikes, so go out to your nearest dealer and test ride this bike. You will definitely not regret it.
Well, that's the show everyone. As always, give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and consider subscribing if you've learned something new. Cheers, and we'll see you on the next one.